Hey, everybody.
Wow.
We're here.
Hi.
Hello.
All right, we're live. Take it away, somebody.
Well, hi, everybody. So this is going to be our session 0 for Apocalypse Keys. Before we get started, let's go around and we'll have everybody introduce themselves, say who they are, where they're from, where you can find them, etc. We'll start with our keeper of the keys.
That's me.
Yay!
Hi. Hi. I'm so excited to be here in this digital room with all of you beautiful people. My name is Susan Quintana. I'm a native of California. Hey, it's real hot here right now. I hope you can't hear my fan. I'm a longtime fan of the Crit Show. You guys, if you're in the Discord, have seen me around just a little bit. I also have my own podcast called Novel Games. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can also visit novelgamespodcast.com or patreon.com/novelgames. Me personally, if you just want to come yell with me about dogs or food or writing, because that's what I do. I'm a teacher. Teach people how to write things, and I write things myself. My Instagram is at neither right nor wrong. That's right with a W. I'm gonna toss the ball over to Sean.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Sean O'Hara. I'm the game master for a podcast called Spout Lore, and I realize now another podcast called Mallbrats. Both I would call in the comedy realm of fantasy storytelling. Spout Lore is kind of like a 2000s road trip comedy, but with the events of the world hanging in the balance. And Mallbrats is like a Saturday morning cartoon, and the Peaky Blinders kind of mashed into one. In terms of social media, you know what? I'm not really on it so much anymore, but if you wanted to follow me, the main place would be, I guess, my Instagram, which is at Sasquatch PhD. That's not the most evocative. Yeah, thank you very much. I got my PhD in Sasquatches many years ago.
Listen, I've seen clips of that show.
Oh yeah, I guess I do a show in which I do talk about Sasquatch and animals. You know what? Next year, look at me up at your various fringe festivals, depending on where you go. I've done a number of fringe shows, Field Zoology 101, and Fake Ghost Tours with fellow Spout Lore cast member Abdul Aziz. But yeah, listen to Spout Lore, listen to Mallbrats, and I'm gonna toss it over to Taz.
Hi, I'm Taz. You can find me on Wednesdays on the Crit Show. Every Wednesday, we have shows that we crit, and you can listen to them too with us. That's all I got for today.
Nailed it.
I don't do anything else. I play video games and I snuggle with my lady and my pup. And
You got it in one.
Yep.
Well, I'm Rev, and I am the host and the GM of the first 6 seasons of the Crit Show, which is Monster of the Week and Other, powered by the Apocalypse games, all within the same dimension-hopping narrative. And then I'm a player on season 7, and I also am the producer for the bulk of the things that we do on our Patreon. We have got so many different game systems that we've played. We have been fruits and vegetables become superheroes. We have been pirates who sailed the seas for over like 4 years. We have been the people living in Neverland, vying to take the place of Peter Pan when he retires. So many stories. You can find all of those.
Wrecked me.
Yeah.
That was a stage play
It's
that I
fun.
wrote that I adapted into a one shot.
It was fun as hell.
I loved that story. Yeah.
What's wrong
but yeah,
with you?
It's a heartbreaking little
I
story. You should
don't
listen to
I
it.
don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, you can find all of that at patreon.com/the Crit Show.
I GM some of those. That's something I've done that I should have said.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. The bulk of what is over there, you have GM.
That's probably, yeah, that's true.
Like not system bulk, but
Sure.
Sheer hours.
Yeah.
Quantity.
Yeah.
We've done this happened this was maybe a month ago that we came into the studio, we're getting ready to record, and they were talking about some thing like one shot series of, something that we did, and they're talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, what was this?" And they're like, "You were in that." And I'm like, "I
Played in it.
don't believe you. I don't have any
Yeah.
memory of this." So there's a ton is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about the what was the game called? You've Been Murdered,
I still don't know.
and it's a one-page RPG where everybody is trying to kill someone.
The poison thing.
You've been poisoned.
You've
That's
been
the name of the
poisoned.
game.
Yeah, okay, I remember now. All right.
Anyway,
Didn't know I was
but
Okay.
it's like a high society, like we're poisoning their tea because they have done something to the Anyway, let's talk about the game we're gonna play.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh, the game that we are going to play is called Apocalypse Keys. It was written by the absolutely incredible human being named Ray Najati. They published it with their company, Sword Queen Games, in conjunction with Evil Hat. So you can find Apocalypse Keys on Evil Hat's website, or like me, you can get well, no, I think I got the hard copy through Evil Hat, but drivethrurpg.com. So those are the two places I know. I guess you could go to Amazon, but maybe not. Right
Or
now.
Susan's house.
Maybe. Oh,
There's at least one copy there.
Yep.
I know that for sure. Right next to a big old window.
How great would that be to see someone
But
climbing in just an hour from now? Just...
Scoop.
The shutters are broken. I can't close it. It is indefinitely open. It's real cool when it gets dark, though. It's pretty outside. Okay, you hooligans. So this is a game. To me, this is a game about what it means to be human, which is why it speaks to me so much. It's a game about choices and consequences, who you trust, who you push away, that leads to your success or your failures. But it's all in this fantastical world, so we can layer a lot of really cool, relevant themes and messages into it. But we're talking about monsters. What do you? Don't be reading too much into it. The setting is a world very similar to ours, but the difference is that monsters are real. Monsters are real. Some people know about it, some people don't. It feels like the book gives the vibe that it's pretty much 50-50. So when you create your campaign or your one-shot, you can decide kind of how heavily or not heavily the world knows about what's going on. The one thing that people don't know about are the apocalypses and how close the world is at any given time to being destroyed. But luckily, Division exists. Division stands for the Department of Interdimensional Vigilance and International Security Interdisciplinary Operations Network.
It's just crazy that it just worked out like that for them.
Yeah.
Figured out the office name and they're like, God, you guys aren't going to believe this. It spells division.
Wild.
You just wait. We're gonna get even better acronyms when the mystery starts.
Can't wait.
Because Division isn't the only group in the world, but it is the group that you guys belong to. Division has existed in one form or another for hundreds of years. As long as the world has always been at the brink of destruction, Division has existed. And all of you are a part of it, because for as long as there has been monsters, there have been humans who have leashed them for their own purposes. So all of you are monsters. You're not humans. So let's throw that out the window right now. You're monsters. You can look as human as you want to. Certainly you have to be able to navigate society, but you are at your heart a creature of destruction. You are a team of omen level monsters. That means you guys are the best that it gets. You are the most powerful monsters that exist, and Division has somehow coerced you or gotten you to work for them because it is only monsters like yourselves that can save humanity. Pretty ironic. This is a game. I like to think of it as powered by the apocalypse, and Clark from Brindlewood had a little baby, and it is Apocalypse Keys. Because the mechanics of the game are one part card from Brindlewood and one part powered by the apocalypse. So you are only going to need 2d6. I don't mind if you guys roll digitally. That's fine. I, of course, like some kinesthetic features to my games. So if you want to roll your dice manually and just tell me, I trust you. And you could lie to me because that's fine. I want you to have the game you want to have. So it's just really cool. Maybe don't lie to me because there's so many cool mechanics in this game when things go badly.
That's where the best stuff happens is on bad rolls.
Failure is much more fun.
Yeah.
Failure is much more fun. I completely agree. I'm going to pause here because my nerves are getting the better of me and I'm just talking. And so I'm going to pause and say, do you guys have any questions about anything that I've said so far?
Yes. Are you sure you want the three of us to be the best of the best in saving the world?
It has to be, you guys.
Oh, no.
You're the only
There
ones
is
who
no
showed
one
up.
else.
Everyone
No
else is
pressure.
busy.
I am so excited that you went, oh yeah, you only need 2d6. And I went, I don't have anything with me. I am unprepared. And then I looked over and I happened to have 2d6s with our logos on it because I was just ordering new dice for Gen Con.
Woo!
And so I
Hell yeah.
had like the dice there that I was talking to the supplier about.
Hell yeah.
Kismet.
The unit
I have
is
about 1
corrupt.
million dice behind this very curtain, so I'm just going to disappear for a second and get 2 of them.
I can quick draw dice
Chat, how you
anytime.
chat, how you doing? Hey, chat. Chat, do you have any questions for me?
Did we get you are farmers added? You are monsters. Bum ba rum bum 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 bum. Gotta scroll up to something I agreed with from Julie C. More inclined to break into your house for dinner.
Oh my gosh. I think I've told this story before. My son is so bougie with his tastes, and it's 100% my fault. Because I'll cook really fancy things on like a Tuesday night when I have no business doing that. And so fish tacos is like his latest thing. I'll be like, do you want to have this really nice thing? I made like this potato and cheese casserole the other day, and he just looked at it and he went, it's not a fish taco. And I was like, boy, can I please just make some macaroni and cheese? Like, and you'll eat it? You're 5 years old. Why do you have to demand fish tacos from me every single
Just
night?
have a granola bar, please. Eat a fruit snack. Isn't that what you things eat?
No fish tacos? How about sushi? I'm like, oh my God.
I would accept some boeuf bourguignon.
Yeah, to be fair, they are fish tacos.
Yeah. Oh, I want some dino nuggies. See, I'm like the opposite. I grew up like I tried fancy things and I was like, this isn't a banquet microwave meal. Gross.
I need a meal for a hungry man. Dice acquired.
Okay, what was I talking about? Thank you, chat. What was I talking about? Mechanics. I'd moved on to mechanics. Okay. Um, so you are a team of monsters. You work together. Okay. There will be moments of like, I want to do this thing, and it kind of goes against somebody else in my team. But for the most part, you guys are cooperating with each other. Like, the world ends if your shit doesn't get done. So it's
Mhm.
in everybody's best interest to save the world. But that is not to say all of you have to be best friends. In fact, some of the starting bond questions, some of the moves will like as long as everybody else at the table is okay with it, you might have some clashing personalities. But I just wanted to put out there, and maybe this should have gone into the safety talk. My fun is not found in people like being mean to each other at the table or like
Yeah.
constantly fighting or like player versus player. Like, I'm not here to have that kind of game. So I think that it's a valuable talk to be had, even live on a show, to talk about the kind of vibe that we want at the table. So are you guys all okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actively. I hate player versus player stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just that. Oh yeah.
I like parties that have dissenting points of view, but I very rarely have had fun with a character that's only goal is to sow discord amongst
Yeah.
their fellow adventurers.
Yeah.
Because we're all here to do a job. I don't want to work with people that are trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. So how the game itself is broken down is into these, I don't want to call them segments because segment seems small, but it is very much I guess episodic is maybe a better way to say it. You have a mystery, and that's what it's called in the book. It's a mystery that you have to solve. Um, the mystery is the apocalypse is going to happen. How do we stop it? Like, that's the through line, the question. Like, how do we stop it? Where is this coming from? I need to get information. So, your priority as a player is to gather information. This is the card from Brindlewood part of it. You have moves that allow you to gather information easily or at a cost or at someone else's, cost. And that's what you do. The clues in the game are called keys, apocalypse keys, because you are trying to unlock the door. Um, we don't want to open the door. In the book, if you don't read the book too carefully, it gets a little confusing. So you're gathering keys to unlock the door and you're unlocking the mystery. You figure things out. What we don't want to happen is the door of the apocalypse to open because you've done the wrong thing and you lose and the world is over. Great job. So you collect keys to unlock the door at the very end of the mystery. That makes sense?
I like
That's
it.
horrifying.
Okay.
The thought that like the safe door is an unlocked but unopened door.
Yeah.
That's great.
Doesn't give me anxiety at all. Let's
Uh,
go.
Other than unlock. Oh wait, no, I'm going to interrupt myself. So each mystery, right? If you were to play a big campaign of this, you would have a series of mysteries, and then you would like cobble that together into a campaign. There's no mechanic for like downtime or things that happen in between. It feels very like Monster of the Week esque or um, Brindlewood Bay esque, in that there are mysteries and we solve them. So for anybody who's watching, if you're interested in playing a big campaign of this, you should know that going into the game. You would want to probably create like little moments of community or downtime, like in between episodes, so your players can have some fun with that as well. Because one of the things that you do at the beginning is you create division headquarters. Um, I will ask you guys maybe later, towards the end of character creation, if you want to create a division headquarters for yourself. You wouldn't spend any time there, but it might be something fun to do together. But that is what you would do in a big campaign. So you'd create division headquarters about right now.
Nice.
But we're going to skip that. Each mystery has a complexity. So it, again, like Brindlewood Bay or the Between, mystery has a complexity. I'm giving you a complexity 8 mystery, which is the highest I've ever seen. of numbers.
Oh, no.
Because I need this to last for 4 sessions.
Mhm, mhm.
And you'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Um, you want to collect at least as many keys as the number of the mystery complexity. So if this is a complexity 8 mystery, you want to collect 8 keys, right?
Mhm.
Because we take the number of the complexity and we minus the keys you apply to it, and that's like when you go to roll to see if you found the right information and you can end the apocalypse. Those are the numbers that we add together. So if you guys were playing this and you only collected like 2 keys and you're like, "Hey Susan, we know what's happening. We want to end this mystery now." I'd be like, "Okay. You're going to be rolling at a -6, but let's see what happens."
Oh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
so finding keys is important. I know some people get really excited when they start playing this and like they start creating theories in their head and they're like, "Oh, let's solve the mystery now." And it's like you want to wait. You want to search for everything you can. I guess you can think of it as like if we were playing Monster of the Week and somebody just wanted to run at the cave where they know the monster is when they haven't done any research. As the game master, like they're gonna die, right? Because they haven't done any research.
Mm-hmm.
So
And is it like Brindlewood Bay in the sense of um like before you roll you say what your theory is, and then if the roll fails that theory is not true?
yes, that theory is not true.
Yeah.
Um,
So you also want to
yes,
get those keys to protect, like if you have a theory we're all working on and we want it to be true, we want to make sure we have enough keys to make it reality.
Interesting.
yes,
Dope.
yes.
Okay.
So while this game is a mystery system at its heart, you guys can do other things. And I want to talk to you about the other things because we're going to dive into the playbook soon. But I want to talk about the mechanics beforehand because there's a lot of things in this playbook that are super cool. But if you don't know what certain phrases mean, it's not going to mean anything to you. And you might pick the wrong playbook for what you wanted to do because you didn't know the mechanics of it. So there's really only 3 other things that happen other than looking for keys in Apocalypse Keys. There are 2 separate moves that let you use your powers, and you have powers of darkness. That's what it's called in the book, powers of darkness. So go ahead and go there when you come up with what your powers are. You have 2 moves that allow you to use your powers in different ways. Um, Power through darkness and unleash the dark. It's flavors of the same thing. So if you see that text, you'll know that's what it means. It's giving you a bonus to that or asking you to ignore doing that or something. Um, the other thing you can do is reveal your heart because this is a game, like I said, about what it means to be human, and relationships are what make I was gonna say relationships are what make humanity special, but like it's part of that, right? The bonds that we create or break or what we love or what we choose to hate and all that kind of stuff. It's all wrapped up in this awesome game here and those themes. So there's a move that is called Reveal Your Heart. And it is exactly as it sounds. You are going to pick another player or an NPC and you're gonna have a moment of role play with them. It can be really short, right? Like 10 or 15 seconds. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but you'll get to roll this move, and this move will help you. You can clear conditions. You can gain bond. It's like a really cool thing that you can do to kind of boost your own stats, but also to create a cool story moment, either with a fellow player or with some rando that I generated for you.
Mhm.
The final thing that happens is a move that is called Torn Between. And this leads us into the kind of the currency of the game. Um, at any point you are in danger of losing control because you're not a human. You are a monster. And there is a monster that lives inside of you. And so gathering or using the currency of the game, which we'll talk about in a little bit, you could accidentally or on purpose go torn between. And it can be a moment where you either choose to hold the monster inside, be as human as you can for the people around you, or you can choose to like have a moment where your monster gets the better of you in this whatever scene is occurring. So those are the big ticket words that you'll see in the playbooks here, looking at the either the sheet I gave you or the PDFs that I put into our chat. Sorry, chat, you don't get to see them. You should go to Drive Through RPG or Evil Hats to get the book yourself, so you can look at these super cool playbooks. Again, I've been talking a whole lot, so I'm gonna pause. So you can ask me some questions, or I can look in chat and see if they've asked me any questions.
Yeah, I think these all make sense to me.
Yeah, I think the thing that that jumped out at me as I was looking at the playbooks, and the chat has kind of grabbed onto it as well, is there's the game has a definite like Hellboy BPRD kind of flavor to it, where it's like the monsters are the ones trying their best to protect the world, but it's also about the humanity of these things that people are terrified of. So I think that helped me sort of contextualize a lot of the moves and a lot of the characters,
Yeah.
potential characters rather. But yeah, I don't think I have any questions. You're explaining it very well.
Yeah.
You should do a podcast about it.
Future and broadcast.
Listen. I have an intro episode. Oh, it's the one that I put in our chat where I was like, "Hey Sean, listen to the first 5 minutes of this. You don't have to listen to the rest of it. Just listen to the first 5 minutes." I was this close to being like, "Hey Megan, can I link audio so I can just like play this and I don't have to say anything?" But no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So, the final thing that I feel like we need to talk about mechanics wise before I just shut my pie hole and let you look at the playbooks is the currency of the game. There are two types of currency in this game. There are darkness tokens and there is bond. This game does not have you roll at advantage or disadvantage. This game does not allow you to help other people. The only thing you can do in this game is spend darkness tokens or spend bond. So they're really important for you to have these two things and to go out of your way to collect them. So, bond. No, let's start with darkness tokens. Darkness tokens. That is something that you earn. You start out with 0, so sorry. The way that you earn darkness tokens is through roleplay, honestly. If you're looking at the PDF, I think it'll be on like the 4th page. If you're looking at the Google sheet that I plugged in, there's a spot, it's in yellow, it says darkness tokens. Each playbook has a different way of gaining darkness tokens. So like, let me go to the found. So the found playbook is the character that is not of this world. They were found by someone else and brought back to Earth, or wherever it is you guys are based. And so they are misplaced. They're far away from home, and they're addled. They don't have all of their memories, right? So the found gains darkness tokens when they feel frustrated or scared, when they go out of their way to react with uncertainty or cowardice. When the found asks someone to listen to them, they gain darkness tokens. And when the found asks another person to open up their emotions to them, they gain a darkness token. So these are all role play beats for you guys. So I think in choosing a playbook, it's really important to look at the darkness token triggers, because that's how you get those cool tokens to give yourself pluses to your roll. But it is also like, if you don't want to be a character who is a coward, don't pick the Found, because it's kind of baked into that playbook where like they get cool things when they act cowardly, right? So you have to think about those different things. The Hungry, which is honestly one of my favorite playbooks. The Hungry earns their tokens when they yearn for something that they don't have, when they react with pettiness, when they ask someone else to give into their hunger. Like, sorry, I just got goosebumps. So those are like those are our things. There are also conditions that you guys get. There's no harm tracker. The harm tracker is your conditions list. So if you go out of your way to embody a condition that you have, so let's say a condition that I've given you is lonely, you feel lonely. If at any point you kind of act lonely, then I'll be like, ooh, look at that. Darkness token for you, sir. You collect them. There'll be a little place for you to track your darkness tokens, and you can use them whenever you see fit, but you can't hoard them. You can't just be in a session and you're like, I have 15 darkness tokens, I'm sitting pretty. The game has a way to combat that. If you make a move, and at the end of that move, you have more than 5 darkness tokens, 5 or more darkness tokens, you trigger the Torn Between roll.
Oh.
Actually, it's not even a roll. It just freaking happens. And that is to combat people hoarding those darkness tokens.
That's so funny.
So you have to keep an eye on them, because it's happened twice now. Here's looking at you, Amber. It's happened twice now in my podcast where one of my players was not keeping an eye on their darkness tokens and went, hold on a second. Uh-oh. I'm torn between, and something catastrophic and pretty cool happened. So, questions about darkness tokens?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna glance at chat for a second. Thank you, Jerica. Yeah, Amber's in the chat. Amber has entered the chat, folks. One of my players is listening to us. Love all of you. Thank you. You keep forgetting that you have to spend them before you roll. Yeah, you do. You have to say, I'm spending this before you make the roll, or it doesn't count. Ooh, that transitions perfectly into bonds, the other kind of currency. You do get bond. Probably by the end of us hanging out right now, we'll have formed some bond with each other. And there are a lot of different moves, like playbook moves that you have, that will say, hey, do this and get a bond with somebody. So you'll be able to gain bond with NPCs, with each other, with division, with what the darkness demands of you. And bond is special because you can use bond to subtract from your roll, not just add to it. And we can talk about why that is important later. I'm going to save my favorite mechanic for the absolute last thing that we talk about. So I'm sure you guys have been glancing at the playbooks while I've been talking, but I'm going to give absolute dedicated time for this right now if you want to talk to each other or talk to chat or talk to me about what your ideas are.
I've got a few that stick out to me, one kind of more than the others, but I want to hear from you guys first.
I have a very unfortunate idea that's been stuck in my head since my walk down.
Okay.
You know what? This would be a great litmus test for the tone that we're comfortable with. Because one sec, let me just look something up. Yeah, my idea. I was looking at the shade because I do love that there's sort of a detective-y vibe to it. in that it's like someone that seeks out information, which is those are the classes I'm always drawn to, is people that find info that no one else can find. So I was like, all right, so somebody that like maybe somebody that died and came back, or was like was taken out for reasons by some group, and then the only person I could think of was 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy,
Oh my God.
assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald at the behest of the Illuminati, returned to an unlife to stop the apocalypse that he almost caused.
If you think I'm going to do anything to stop this, then you're out of your mind.
I will leave it on the table. But either way, I'm looking at the shade. It just depends on who the shade takes the form of.
I mean, I'm in, but yeah.
Yeah, go for it. This is, listen, there's a watershed moment that happens in any show that we do with a member from Spout Lore,
Yeah.
where the game master has to either go, yeah, all right, or, well, let's bring this in a second.
Yeah. I'm
And,
happy with
and
both options.
Pascal, much to his chagrin, it felt like, went, yeah, go for it. And then
Did a
spent
dual
4
play
episodes
Jesus
summoning.
Sinclair?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There
Summoning
were
geese in space.
literally
Yeah, there you
space
go.
geese. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
This is the perfect opportunity for me to jump in and talk about the Shade. So the Shade has a special relationship with death. That is death with a capital D. Okay. And as the Shade, you have to hold death close. You have to hide your heart behind cold logic and reasoning, and you have to choose why you are here, why you keep on living, because at any moment you can decide not to. So there is a very kind of soft warning for the Shade, because it is a character that it like lives on the brink of life and death, and at any moment can cross back over to where they are supposed to be. The darkness tokens for the Shade are feeling ignored and unimportant. Like, you reacting with cold reason or logic in emotional moments, asking the people around you to follow your instructions and to ignore their own hearts and feelings. So that is the character. The Shade has a lot of cool moves that allow them to gather information. But they also have a lot of moves that enable them to help the people around them. So if you are a player who likes kind of wandering off by themselves, some of your moves won't work how you want them to, right? So you would want to be near other people to have them work well. So I just want to make sure you know about that.
Totally.
I'm here to roll with the Kennedy if he's here. Just
yeah.
know that this is a
I
this is
appreciate
the kind of playbook that we're choosing.
Totally. Yeah, no, and I appreciate the walking me through the ins and outs of the book itself. Honestly, I was trying to talk myself out of JFK, but the more I look at these tags, feeling ignored and unimportant, I was the president of the United States. Please take me seriously. Asking someone to follow holding death close, JFK's nothing if not a lover. I have everyone has a special relationship with their death.
Well, I think it's a terrible idea to not do it.
All right, then you know what? I'm gonna soldier on with this idea, and I'm gonna ruminate on it, and I'm gonna wait to hear from my fellow monsters.
Cass, tell me about the playbooks you're interested in.
My top choice, I think, is The Fallen. I lean into anything that's sort of, deity adjacent, religious lore type of thing. So that one appeals to me. I have the most specific idea for it, but also the Hungry and the Summoned seem very me. So yeah, that's where I'm at kind of to start here.
Okay. Yeah, the ones I'm looking at are the Surge and the Last.
Ooh.
So no matter what, we're in the clear.
Okay. I think I might stick with the Fallen then.
Okay. My impression is, hearing you say to pay attention to what gets you the darkness tokens, makes me feel more like the Surge than the last, I think. Because if I'm reading this right, like the last darkness tokens are, did you compromise your beliefs and traditions of your people for someone else? Did you find an innocent target for your grief, despair, and fear? Is that the right category that I'm looking on your drop sheet?
I don't think you said the last.
Yeah.
No, in the yellow, so towards the middle of the page on the last tab, the last gains darkness tokens when they feel lonely or rejected, when they react with doubt or confusion, when they ask someone else to tell them about their past, when you ask someone to doubt their future. That is the last.
I don't know how to navigate this, obviously. Because the tabs that I see are
on
like,
the search?
no, I'm on the last.
It's also if you're looking for where to get the darkness things, like if you're looking at just the full playbook, it's just like the
Yeah.
top left corner.
There you go. If you want to look at the PDF I stuck in the I should have pinned those. Did I pin those?
Yes.
Oh, I'm looking at the spreadsheet. Should I not be looking at that?
Maybe
Oh.
not.
No, you. Hey now.
Well, I mean, if we can.
Yeah.
I
I'm looking at
see.
D6 is where they start.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have said numbers. That is how
Yeah.
we navigate.
I was looking at.
I honestly just remembered they even had them, so we all got there at the same time.
I was looking at the things that you mark experience for.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The end of session questions.
Yeah. Task. Feel free to move on yours while I read the correct section now.
Yeah. So, I mean, should I kind of talk about thoughts here as I look over the playbook, or?
Sure.
Where are we at? Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of us here, but I have a thought for this, but I'll wait. I can wait till we get a little further in. Whatever you need.
You have the best thoughts. I just want. I know. I'm also here in my head. I'm like, there are people listening, and I encouraged people to come here because I was gonna like talk through the basics of the game and
Please.
stuff. So the Fallen, because they cannot see what we are looking at. The Fallen is very much what it sounds like, except instead of fallen angel, it is a fallen god. They were a literal deity of some kind, right? Task gets to decide what that looked like. And for one reason or another, they fell. And now they are here with us, and they are stuck here with us to their chagrin. This is a character that has some soft warnings for like, you got to be an asshole, Task. Like, this is a book.
I don't know if I have that in me.
Where like you aren't none of you are really good people at heart, right? You can play at being a good person, but the Fallen is they are charming, but they are full of guile. They want people to love them, but they also want power, and they're willing to do anything to get that power, including squash the people who are worshiping them. Their playbook moves: call me master, honeyed tongue and clouded mind, you loved me once. And all of these moves like have you basically charm and enthrall the people around you to get them to do what you want, right? And even if it means like that they are expendable, of course they would be expendable for you, right? So there's that dynamic between like you and the NPCs around you. I would want you to be very cool with, right? Is that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Works for me.
Yeah. I dig these themes. Yeah, like with some of the, again, I don't want to get necessarily too far in unless we're going to do these one at a time, but like, some of the character creation options are really compelling to me. Um, especially when it gets down to like your powers of darkness and just, again, if you've listened to almost anything I've run, just themes of pure fear are very like important to me. So I just like the idea of this, what used to be like a primordial god of fear, like the god of that feeds off of people not knowing things because they just simply weren't educated enough to know why these things were happening. That pure fear of the dark and the sounds that you can't see what's making them and so on. But just as society has grown and people have learned and just general intelligence has gone up, that fear has lessened because people can explain away these things that they used to be afraid of. So I think what he's sort of become, and whether that's just generally happened or also, because other gods, other beings didn't like how much power this fear had, they've helped this education along. They've helped people get past this fear. That now he just simply goes by underbed. And like almost all he can feed off of is that childlike fear of the kid that doesn't know what's in their closet or under their bed. And so like every bit of that getting people's hackles up is all he has left. But there's still power in that because fear doesn't go away entirely, but the unknown is what has gone away.
Excellent.
Is that a thing? Does that sound okay?
That is.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Will you talk to me about the surge?
Ooh. So yes, sorry, that was my happy noise. So the Surge is a really interesting playbook. It is. I looked at the chat for a second. The chat is very excited because all of these are playbooks that my players in my podcast play. Like we're just
Yay.
rehashing the same playbooks over again.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool. I didn't know one of your players played John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, that's incredible.
No, unfortunately, my shade is a very large waxen mannequin that sort of looks like a human if you're squinting.
Lincoln.
So it's pretty cool. So the Surge. I was trying to think of like some pop culture reference to connect it to, but I'm not good at doing that. You contain a power that was never meant to be controlled. Like you are a walking nuclear bomb. And at any moment you could go off and harm everyone around you. But you would be fine because you can withstand anything, but the people around you can't. You would be a character that struggles to define yourself outside of that power that you have because that is all people see when they look at you, right? You're prompted to love others knowing that at any moment you could hurt them. And you have a lot of moves that prompts you to pick someone to share your burden with. And you literally get to share your power. I think the move, what is it called? My hands around your heart. You get to pick another one of these two players here to be your heart. And you can grant them some of your power, some of your support at any moment. And there's also like consequences that can go back and forth across that depending on what you move and the choices that you make. The Surge gains darkness tokens when they feel overwhelmed or when they feel numb, because that's dangerous. You could lose control of your powers if that were to happen. um what's her name? I want to like trigger the song from Encanto, Luisa.
Oh,
Uh Under the Surface. Under the
yeah.
Surface should be playing right now, right? Um you earn darkness tokens if you ever give into your power on purpose. You earn darkness tokens. This is a little dark when you carry around shame and guilt for the people that you have hurt. And so at any point you could ask someone around you to punish you for that. You'll gain darkness tokens. Um, Also, the Surge gets one extra darkness token trigger that nobody else gets. And that is if the Surge distracts from the mission on purpose, they can get some darkness tokens. So, yeah.
That's some TJ shit.
Um, have I mentioned everything about the Surge? Hey, Amber, you're in the chat. Is there anything Rev should know about playing the Surge? Oh, Llama put a text block in there. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
While
Oh, look at that.
Hmm.
Thank you, Pascal. Folks can download the playbooks for free on Evil Hat's website.
Oh, that's true.
Nice.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna do something that neither of the other players did. I'm gonna ask you to describe to me a second playbook.
Oh.
Yeah. Now tell me about the last.
Oh, if did I say this to you? I feel like I said this to someone. If I were to be a player in an Apocalypse Keys game, which I don't know will ever happen, I'd pick the Hungry or I'd pick the last. Because the last has some really cool, really important themes to me. So the last is exactly like it sounds. You are the last of your kind. You're not human, you're a monster, and it's you. You are alone. There will never be another. And so this playbook has a lot of moves that have you thinking about the past. There is something horrible that happened to your people, and you have a lot of moves that you can trigger that have you generate that lore on the fly, and you can like get bonuses or cool things because of you coming up with this terrible thing that happened. The last carries around that grief of knowing that they are it, and that there is nothing that they can do to continue their people. But they still have a future. There has to be a future, if not for them, then for humanity, right? Or other monsters. So there is this dichotomy of like, I am grief stricken and I'm full of anger and sadness, but I'm also trying to be hopeful and look to the future. So a lot of moves will have you do that, either look to the past or look to the future. So I kind of feel like there might be a little more storytelling roleplay in this playbook than in some of the other ones, because you get those moments like that. There's a really cool line in here. Where is it? Oh yeah. You are supposed to hold tightly to the double-edged nature of grief. Like, Ray, that's some dope-ass writing right there. They're probably not with us right now, but the last gets darkness tokens when they feel lonely or rejected. Oh, I think I've already said all these ones. Playbook moves. The last, just like the Fallen, is a creature of beauty. And so some of the moves for the last will have you like reveal your true self for a moment. And it's this like devastating and harrowing beauty. That's a pretty cool move.
Do it, Rev. Be the last unicorn.
Oh.
And I'll be the Red Bull, and I'll chase you around, and it will be amazing.
Just a unicorn in like a hat and a tie, like just a regular guy over here.
Hey guys.
I think I'm gonna go with the Surge.
Yeah.
Just because that's the image that I have. I thought was for the last, but then as I started to understand I think it's the Surge. I think that, like, I very much am envisioning, like, just a person, just a normal looking person, but with just a gaping hole here, and basically like a black hole that just floats, and it's that constant pull that is the destructive force that they could just draw everything in, and that's why it can't hurt them, because it's going into them. You often think of like Surge as a power out, but I think he is very much a matter pulled in and then just gone.
I dig that. That's cool as hell.
Very cool.
And I mean, I think this works out because I think JFK would be the only president I actually trust with a nuke.
Yeah. That's what he's known for, right?
Yeah.
You could destroy the world, and I averted the Cuban Missile Crisis.
There we go.
Or I mean, I like to say that I did. This is JFK's real voice, by the way. He just sounds like a 36-year-old Canadian.
A lot of people don't know that.
They don't know that. He had to do the accent to get the Irish Catholic vote.
Yeah, that's true.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I dig this. I like this. I like this
cool crew.
trio. Yeah.
What do we do now?
Ooh.
She's
Well,
like, don't ask me that. I'll see you next week.
how dare you? My notes end here. No, we create our bond with each other, which would be next, but I feel like our characters are just freshly birthed from our minds, so I don't know if we feel comfortable enough creating bond with each other. Let me talk about one more mechanic thing, and then I'll ask that question again.
Okay.
I saved my favorite part of this game for last. So, if you look at any of the moves, whether it's the basic moves or the playbook moves, you'll see that there's always a description of what happens when you reach certain numbers when you roll 2d6. This is a game about monsters who struggle to control their monstrous nature to fit into this world around them, right? And so that gets reflected in the success mechanics. So I need you to throw out what you know about success mechanics, okay? If you roll a 7 or less, you have failed. Bad things happen. If you roll an 8 to 10, that is a perfect success. You have perfectly controlled your powers, and the both of us get to decide what happens moving forward.
I see. Threading the needle.
If you roll an 11 or higher, the book calls it going too far. It is called a disastrous success.
That's
and
wild.
so you succeed, but bad things happen.
That's such a cool freaking way to think about this whole thing. That's so good.
We've
Very
played
interesting.
something else that is formatted that way, and I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe
Where
you.
it's like, oh yeah, if you do too good, it's bad.
Oh, that's such an
very cool.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
This also applies to when you unlock Doom's door at the very end to make sure you've gotten the mystery correct. And it also contributes to your darkness tokens. Because you can't hoard 15 darkness tokens and then go, yeah, I'm going to use all 10 of them right now. Well, don't bother rolling because you've gone too far. Right? So you probably are only ever going to use like 1 or 2 darkness tokens at a time. Because you don't want to, right? You're trying to get that 8 to 10. You're not trying to go 12 plus.
but at the same time, you
Um,
have to spend them so that you don't get too many and trigger
Yeah.
that move. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so stressed.
Yes.
Oh no.
Fucking love it.
Oh, I am fear. I am fear. I am feeding. I'm worshiping myself right now so hard. Oh god.
Sounds
That-
filthy.
It does.
Yeah.
That kind of
I am also worshiping myself. A very different way.
Oh no. Okay.
Alright.
Oh, as Llama points out in the chat, going too far is bad, but in the grand scheme of things, you would probably want an 11 plus rather than a 7 or minus. 'Cause
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
So
at
like
least you've succeeded.
in
Yeah.
a very I would call this the most minor example of this, but it really is just kind of flipping the mixed success on its head in a very interesting narrative way. I love it. Like that's such a cool way to think about this. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna fill the silence. What were you gonna do?
I mean, I'm looking ahead a little bit. Like I think I've
Yeah.
got a pretty solid idea of some of my picks and such. Though I would probably ask some advice on at least one of the later picks. But yeah, I think I've more or less got this guy figured out.
Oh, I just looked over at the chat. Rev, I don't know if you were thinking of this, but Phoebe says defy the gods. Uses this you succeeded too well mechanic. Is that what you were thinking?
Oh,
I don't know that I know that
No.
game.
No.
Could
Thank
be.
you, Phoebe. Air high five.
Air high five.
Okay, so we can attempt to bond with each other, or just in a fun game world building thing, we could build HQ if you wanted to.
we're here
Yeah,
for the ride.
I still
Yeah.
need to. It sounds like they have moves figured out. I don't.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't either.
Okay, just
No,
yet,
not at
maybe.
all.
Yeah, and
I
I,
should've
not that
probably been
I don't
doing
know
that.
that we're necessarily unveiling all that today. If that's something that we're doing at the start of next time, but I think I've got my narrowed down. I just might have some questions whether we do that tonight or in between. But yeah.
Ooh, I love questions. You can ask me questions.
Really, I think it's just kind of opinion stuff. Yeah, to hell for chat, but mostly for you. Is like some of the later stuff you can choose, not later stuff, but like later on my list of when it tells me to do things. After picking regular moves, and then I can pick a ruin move or a division move.
I forgot.
Yeah, like the division gives us possibilities, and there's some interesting ones there. These ruin moves
Yeah.
look so cool. So I've got a couple from both lists that I think are really particularly interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about either of those first or.
Yeah, so when you build your character in this game, you pick your playbook, and in the sheet I already checked the
Josh.
box of the move you automatically get. You start with one playbook move. It's the one at the top of the sheet, right? So for the Fallen, it's Call Me Master. It's just that makes me smile every single time. I'm sorry, it's my own thing. And then you
Probably a
get
lot of people's thing.
either a ruin move or a division move. Division has some cool moves. I haven't copied those over onto the sheet yet, so you would need to look at them digitally, or if you have a book like I do, you can look at them. The ruin moves are metal as hell, like all of them. This game has the best named moves. Chat, you just have to believe me on this. Like, ugh, the Ray is an absolute genius, right? The truth above all else. Come on, tough guy. Call me master. Ashes to ashes. Like, ugh, the moves are so good. If you pick a ruin move, that is a narrative cue for me that you are starting off a little more harbinger than everybody else. Because up at the top of your sheet, well, I don't know where it is on the PDF, but when you look at the Google Sheet, up at the top of it, you have an experience track and you have a ruin track. And you'll see that your ruin track is smaller than your experience track. You can do things that gain you experience, which gets you cool playbook moves or other things. But you can also do things that gain yourself ruin. And when you get enough ruin, you can get cool ruin moves. But it moves you closer to your monstrous nature. And at a certain point, you have to forfeit your character. Because you're no longer human. You're no longer able to be part of this team. You have given into the darkness too many times. And so I say thank you, and I take your playbook, and I make you one of the bad guys, and you make a new playbook. So that's the give and take of ruin.
I'm ready. My body is ready. There's two of them on here in particular. Like I think all of the Fallens are pretty dope. But two of them in particular for the ruin moves fit really well with how I picture this. But I also love one of the division moves that's having a I don't have it in front of me now. Let me make sure I say it right. A partly cursed weapon. Also seems to fit with what he would be doing, and I love that too. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just stuff I got to percolate on.
Is that Hero's Weapon or Holy Symbol Arsenal?
It's called Partly Cursed Weapon is the name of it.
Oh. I'm not. Oh my god. Partly Cursed Weapon. Division has a collection of cursed artifacts.
Oh, this is one of the Division ones.
Yeah.
This is one of the Division moves.
Nice.
So, yes, the Division moves kind of ground you more in Division and in the world around you. Like some of the Division moves are like, Jacob, the Fallen from my campaign, he chose Monster Celebrity. So he's very like, I want to do this justice. His persona is very like Southern Baptist preacher, televangelist kind of.
Sure.
Right? So he has like a following. He's a monster celebrity. That's the move, right?
I am tempted by that one.
That's pretty dope. That would make so much sense.
I mean, yeah, if everyone knows that the ghost of JFK has come back to life. Maybe he's making another run. Technically, I'm a different guy now. I died.
Listen, please.
So I can. Right now, more than ever.
Yeah.
You get let's see here. You get access to a to an orphanage, which I don't think will probably
access to an orphanage. What does that mean?
Isn't it like it's like if we found monster babies, we have like a monster baby orphanage, and so we
monster babies.
Yeah, it is. That's what it's pretty much.
Division has an orphanage and a professional set of caretakers dedicated to raising young monsters that have the potential to become like you. And then you get to like say some things that are true about the orphanage and create like contacts for yourself there. You can create some bond with some people there. So, but it's like flavored as the orphanage. I go to the orphanage. I visit the children.
Just little baby werewolves sitting in my lap while we Tell stories. Tell them grim fairy tales.
That's great. Yeah. So are we? What do we? Is this? Are the specific choices something that we're doing between sessions, or are we going through the choices tonight?
It's up to you guys. Yeah.
We've got. Oh, I can't do that math in my head. We've got time if we wanted to like chat about
We've
the
got
moves here.
45 old mins.
Time.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about ending it early to do end of session questions, so we can go to 7:30 or whatever time it is for you folks. Time zones.
And are the division moves unique to each playbook?
No, they're
No.
like a whole like thing on the
In the moves is where I found them, or in the
Yeah.
moves PDF. Yeah, the different playbooks seem to they have different ruin moves, but the division moves are shared.
Yeah. Because each of you is your own unique monster, you get unique ruin moves. But the division moves are just general that everybody has access to, like the basic moves.
But we wouldn't be able to take, like, if I took partly cursed weapon, nobody else could, or if JFK has a monster orphanage, I don't.
Yes, accurate.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm shaking hands and I'm kissing monster babies. That's
Yeah.
what. Oh.
3 monster orphanages. Yeah, can we just make an exception just this once? And
Competing orphanages. Who has the coolest babies?
competing even. Oh no.
Competing for-profit orphanages. Okay, am I reading this? So I'm looking at playbook moves. It does say choose one more playbook move than either a ruin or division move. So are we doing 2 playbook moves, or is it the one starting is the one?
Oh, it's 2. I'm sorry. It's 2 playbook moves and then your choice of a ruin or a division.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take your reputation precedes you from the shade.
Ooh.
When I first encounter a named NPC or faction, I can declare they have intimate ties with division. And when I do so, spend darkness, and it'll determine how much they know about me and what they've heard. So maybe celebrity. I feel like the fact that JFK is back is not well-known knowledge. I'm a secret asset of division.
Nice.
The very living ghost of a beloved U.S. president.
That's cool.
And the starting move for the shade is called Death Walked Here.
Mhm.
Death reaches all places and into the heart of all things. When you seek to reconstruct events or learn something valuable, spend darkness tokens and roll. Death appears and gives you the information that you want if you roll well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the move that the starting move drew me to the shade right away. The sort of like reconstructing events that have passed through my connection with death. Pretty sick. And then yeah, all right. Cool.
Yeah, and mine is 2 of my starting moves are picked already, and then I pick one more move. If I'm reading that correctly. So the one I'm going to take, I think, is My Darkness is Never Leashed, which is real simple. It's just when you unleash the dark, you can also choose one from below, even on a miss. And it's that you weaken them for now, you force them to retreat for now, you corrupt an aspect of their power for now, or they will tell you more than they wanted to. So I like the idea that, again, if this something about the void being, even when it goes wrong, it still has its effect. Like that, it's just the void is inevitable.
That's cool.
Very cool.
What I'm looking at, we've already kind of talked about the Call Me Master, how it's essentially mesmerizing onlooking NPCs with my faded power. and depending on how I roll, I can get them to fulfill commands, give me new powers temporarily, etc. It's super dope. I think the one I'm gonna take, I'm leaning into this idea of the like what he's become is just that, you know, the thing that children fear and just gets the rest of the populace's hackles up in a way. So I think I'm going to take Mother of Monsters because I just like the idea of unleashing fear. Mother of Monsters, you have the ability to bring into the world terrifying monsters of beauty. Describe the process and what you wish to bring into the world. Spend tokens and roll. And yeah, like I just love how they're described too. Like the 8-10 is the child is perfect and obedient. It helps you as you wish and sees you as a parent. Describe what powers it has, and then further on, for the 11 plus is the child is perfect and rebellious, and so yeah, they get a little dangerous from there.
That's great,
man. And I like that idea of just the general unleashing the dark being more how I kind of look at manipulations and things, and these bigger moves being that idea of unleashing fear. I'm really torn. I think I'm going with a ruin move, but I'm torn between Tremble Before Me, which is me kind of unveiling myself to devastating effect, and like when I unleash the dark, I can mark ruin and pick 4 options instead of 2, which is wild just on an 8-10, but still, like, that's so wild. But frickin' I Will Rise Again is one of the coolest things I've ever read. It just seems situational is maybe the wrong word, but yeah, like it's just when I secretly work towards reclaiming my glory and power, I mark a ruin and choose a step from the plan below, and I strike it out. When you do, the keeper will choose a consequence. So these things are like destroy the one weapon that can kill me, or kill the one being that can stop me, or create a place of power for my, like these. Oh my God, like these options are so cool, but you only get to do, it sounds like you only get to do each of them once, which makes sense. And then the keeper gets to throw some stuff at me, like PCs or NPCs will weaken my resolve and I must destroy my bonds with them, to no effect. And on. Division learns of my plans and gain something similar to what I've just achieved, and so on. Like, they're so, they seem situational, but they are so rad. So I guess that's what I'm kind of asking is, like, Tremble Before Me seems like something I could possibly use a lot, but is just like, it's interesting and helpful, and leans into my theme. But fuck, I Will Rise Again is cinematic as hell.
This is going to be, I mean, it's a one shot essentially, sure, but we're going to have 4 more episodes to do this. And if you wanted to lean into I Will Rise Again, you will be in a setting that could facilitate you starting this checklist. Like, if that's what if you want to go with this, like, I'm ride or die, baby. Okay.
Okay. All that one I'm going to percolate on.
Okay.
I have a question for you. So what, I have a move option here that says you permanently gain an aspect of the Harbinger's power of darkness. The keeper will tell you what it is. What does any of that mean?
Ooh, okay.
Like, what is the Harbinger? Because it's capitalized. So it seems important.
So you'll see Harbinger with like a lowercase h. And that is a noun to indicate the bad guys, right? Um, and so Harbinger, oh, Harbinger is also like, it gets used in the book to talk about you guys.
Hmm.
Because when you fully give in to your darkness, the monster that you become is a harbinger of the
Hmm.
apocalypse, right? So, harbinger with a capital H is the official bad guy of this mystery.
Hmm.
Like the singular, well, I don't want to say singular because there could be many of them.
Sure.
The thing, the bad guy or bad guys in this particular situation.
Hmm.
So like oh my gosh. This happened to I'm gonna give some, if anybody's up to date on my podcast, plug your ears really fast. This happened just recently in an episode that hasn't aired yet. One of my surge was in a place and was rolled this move,
Hmm.
and the place that she was in, the bad guys have control over reality a little bit.
Hmm.
And so I said, okay, now Amber has control over reality for a little bit, and they don't anymore.
Hmm.
And that it becomes a narrative thing that I then get to decide like when that ends, when would be like a good cinematic moment or narrative beat to like take that from her. Um, but that is an example of like taking on a power. Um, does that make sense?
I think so. The thing I'm looking at says you permanently gain an aspect of the Harbinger's powers. What's the difference in
Mm-hmm.
that between like her getting to use their power for a little bit and then it going away?
Um, let me move over to the playbook
Okay.
because I think is this a ruin move? No,
No, it's just a surge move.
the search.
I am your destruction.
There it is. Oh. I might have been thinking of another playbook because there are several that you get to like steal
Utilize.
powers from other
Yeah.
people. Um, she has it for realsies then, because there are other ones where you get to borrow it for a second.
Uh,
Um, and so she has it for realsies. Hey Amber, you have it for realsies. I guess I won't take it from you.
and so in a game way, like what am I trying to ask? Is it I gain some kind of a narrative tool, or is it like you're giving me something that I will then roll to use? Like if I'm gaining a power of theirs, is it like a custom move, or is it just a narrative flavor thing?
When or if when this happens, I can work with you on that.
Uh,
Um, we can have it so that it is just an uh unleash the dark move. But narratively, instead of using your own powers of darkness, you can tell me, I'm using these powers and I want to
uh,
open this locked door. And I'll
uh-huh.
say, okay, roll to unleash the dark. Or we could totally like one-on-one chat about like, let's come up with a special move that involves these cool powers that
Their
you got.
powers. Okay. Because I sure said like I'm gonna take the darkness is never leashed, but then I instantly read the next one again afterwards, and it was like the nerd in me, because all of the things that you can do with that move are kind of interlocked in the idea of what people think black holes can do. Like it can adjust time, it can reshape reality. I was like,
Ah,
oh, I should take that one then. So TBA, but I think it's actually going to be that one because that's way more dynamic, I think.
It's very good.
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
Sean, do you have a thought of a division move versus a ruin move?
Yeah, I looked at the division moves. None of them really. I mean, Monster Celebrity was an interesting one for sure. But then I noticed that the other move that I took, Your Reputation Precedes You, also involves building bonds, and I was just like, man, it's gonna be a lot of juggling bonds, which leads to some interesting storytelling for sure. The other one, the Ruin move I was looking at, You Can't Escape the Truth. Your hard-earned knowledge can be used as a weapon, and you've learned how to sharpen the truth to its finest edge. Basically, I can choose to reveal a secret to someone that compels them to act in some way, or deny me at their own risk. And I was imagining that following my death, and my inevitable rebirth, I was made privy to all of the conspiracy theories of the world that are actually true, and I can reveal these harrowing truths to people, just throw them off guard. Be like, hey, you know that fluoride in the drinking water? It's controlling your mind, actually. So,
Oh.
I was
Sean, I play these games to escape reality.
I was
Did you
hoping
know
you
that
were
the
going to
CIA,
have.
the CIA actually made Paw Patrol to make you feel good about the police state. So
I was hoping you were going to have JFK's rosary, so you were going to have a holy symbol arsenal.
that's not a bad idea. I don't know what my relationship with the Catholic Lord would be like now that I'm
Yeah,
a
that's
Oh,
living
that's true.
member of the living dead,
Yeah.
which I think is a thing that eats at the heart of JFK's ghost. But yeah, so I'm thinking that what You Can't Escape the Truth is where I'm looking right now. Because there is one that's absurd. The Corridor of Doors. I don't know how well it fits with JFK, but it's really cool. You've been with Division long enough that they trusted you with a secret. Over the years, Division has managed to collect ancient doors of power and place them within a metaphysical space of highly volatile energy. Each door exists within a fluctuating state of open and not open, locked and unlocked. So I can just decide to access this corridor and open one of these doors. Doors such as the Door of the Spider Lord, or the Door of the Twin Moons, the Door of the Blood Queen. And I can just kind of crack the door open, and then whatever happens, happens. I can attempt to negotiate briefly, but that seems to be something that might not work out.
That's
amazing.
incredible.
So I'm stuck.
It's metal as hell, and it's one of my favorite moves.
It is. I do like the idea of not even from a me standpoint of being like, I don't know what to do, and then just kicking open a door to hell. You know what? I don't feel in control of this situation anymore. Let's see what the scaled princess is up to.
Oh my god.
If Banana Split was in Apocalypse Keys, he would absolutely have that
Oh
move.
my god, you're so right.
So you know what?
Really quickly.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, please.
I just want to jump in really fast because you brought up juggling bond earlier, and I realized I forgot to say. So, darkness tokens, you're supposed to say, I'm going to spend two darkness tokens, and then you roll and you spend them. Bond is how you subtract, right?
Oh.
So, let's say you go too far, you roll like an 11. If Rev is in the scene with you, Sean, you can look to Rev and tell me how your bond with him helps you in this moment, and we can pull that 11 down to a 10.
Nice.
So
okay.
So darkness tokens add, but I mean bond can also add, but bond is the only way that you can subtract.
Got it.
So I just think that's important.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then maybe I won't make a strong decision yet, because all of these are sounding pretty interesting to me.
Cool.
Unless this is something that you need to know in order to kind of massage the mystery into the shape it needs to be in which case I will choose.
No, it's good.
Okay. Then I'll think about it. Besides that, I think the only thing that I think I have to choose, Powers of Darkness. What form does death take? What does the darkness demand of you? Are those things that you want to know now?
No, you don't have to tell me now. I have the skeleton of the mystery, and I have the major players, and
Gotcha.
I am at my best when I know a little bit and then spend the rest of the time ducking and weaving through whatever you throw at me.
Perfect. Love to hear it. Then I will finish these another time, but I will be thinking about them right now.
I'm loving this suggestion. What if behind every door in the corridor is just a different president? Open one up. Oh God, Teddy, he's got a big stick. Run.
Just a different former rival of mine. Mikhail Gorbachev, what are you doing back there?
It's a different reality where a different president is currently like the one who is like you. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't know how closely Twitch is watching these streams, but you know. Yeah, I'm down with the idea of kicking open a door and releasing Fidel Castro into the scene. Come on, buddy, let's put our differences aside and stop this apocalypse together.
Does your Surge use a ruin move or a division move?
She took Holy Symbol Arsenal, right? As I look over at the chat.
Both.
Oh, that's right. We've been playing long enough. We've been playing long enough that they've gotten experience and
sure.
ruin
Okay.
and stuff. So I
Okay.
think yeah. Amber started with Holy Symbol Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel particularly drawn to any of the ruin moves, and I
Sure.
don't know why. And so I might be the one that goes with a division move just so that we have one floating around.
Orphanage, love it. Great, good call. Good call.
It might just be I need to read them and ruminate on them, but a lot of it just seems to be making deals with the people we're supposed to stop. They're focused on relationships for the Surge, and you don't have any yet. Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm going with Tremble before me. It just matches up. I think it matches up pretty well with the shtick.
It's a good album title too.
Yeah, they all kind of are. Call Me Master and Tremble Before Me. It's a very intense vibe coming off of The Fallen.
Yeah. The one that I also like very much that I feel like is probably more geared for longer session or longer campaign is My Beloved Nemesis, which is also a fantastic album name.
Yeah. I heard that song in 2002.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously played by My Alchemical Romance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the name of the possible Doors move?
The Corridor of Doors.
That's
Corridor.
good too.
Yeah.
That's a good album.
The Corridor of the Doors.
All of these names are so good.
They're
they're
so
good,
good.
Love a good name.
Well, is there anything else we need to do in this moment?
The only thing kind of hanging over us is creating bond with each other.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But again, if you don't, I mean, we can look at the questions.
Yeah, let's at least
Yeah.
ask them and see if we've.
Yeah. Because we might then build to that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we might
Yeah.
unintentionally build our bonds.
If you are on the Google Sheet, if you scroll all the way over to the right, kind of in the lavender color is the starting bond questions. There are 3 of them.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I just realized Tass's is wrong. Tass, I'm sorry.
I'm on the
copied,
character
so,
sheet. It's
you know.
fine. I'm on the
Oh, good.
the PDF,
Excellent.
so it's
the,
cool.
The rest of you are fine. The Fallen's like, you know of another like me. I'm like, no, that's not right.
That's
That's not the correct one.
that's the
Um,
last or whatever.
For the Surge has 3 questions. And the first one is, you were there when I truly let go. What did I destroy that belonged to you? Why are you grateful?
Mm.
Oh.
anybody who wants to, I know, right? Anybody who wants to pair up with that one, the surge would gain 1 bond with you. There is a second question. I love you, but you rejected me for my own sake. Why? If anybody is willing to take that one, the surge gains 2 bond with you.
Ooh.
And then the third question, which is a question that all of you have as your third question. Why am I tempted to give in to what the darkness demands of me? And that is if... Uh-oh.
Yes.
Did I lose?
Oh
Did
no.
my internet crash?
Oh, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Uh-oh. Let me type in the...
Oh, now she's frozen.
Oh no.
Oh,
Took a minute.
the modern internet crash is always a little scarier because it's like they don't like it. We haven't caught up with their reality yet.
Yeah.
Or it's like one of those things where they're like, "Oh no, I think I'm okay," and then like blood starts running from their ears.
The darkness got her.
One of my first Bond question, just because of who I am, is inadvertently funny.
Oh, I gotta know it.
You were there when I died. Which one of you was at the Kennedy assassination? Which one of you was there? Which one of you saw Oswald take the shot? And the second person.
It had to be Taz.
I'm very compelled to take
old
that.
God of fear.
Yeah.
Just overall boy like
1963.
You're gonna miss this shot, idiot. just
whisper.
Just whispering fear and doubt into him.
Even if I do, there's a second shooter on the grassy knoll.
It's true. It's not a bad frozen image of her. It's very regal, actually.
It is.
Yeah, that's true.
It seems like it would be like her queenly portrait.
Oh no, she dropped out.
That's
So
gonna mess
all of our Sean's
Now
gone
I'm
entirely.
Oh.
Not really. Just in the picture on Twitch.
Yeah. Oh, the wait, what happened?
The overlay, our overlay is set for the cameras.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna
Something wrong with my equipment.
not touch it.
Yeah. Good.
Just in case she pops back. Hey, I stayed the same.
Perfect. There
You
you
did,
go.
and you stayed in the right place.
I did. That's wild. What's your other question, Sean?
It is I love you, but I'm getting the vibe that they might all be I love you, but
Yeah, mine is too.
I love you, but I can't acknowledge it. Why do you allow me to remain ignorant?
Interesting.
Wait, so I guess that suggests that I love you. I love one of you. I know it, but won't bring it up. But you also know, and you are just not telling me.
Or like one of us knows that you love us even though you aren't aware of it.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
Is that like we allow you to remain ignorant of
have
us
to look
knowing
at it.
or of you knowing?
That's a good question. I'm going to look at it on the sheet too, just in case it's slightly different.
Yeah.
The bonds are somewhere.
I love you, but I can't accept it. Why do you allow me?
Oh, but I
to
can't accept.
remain ignorant.
Hmm.
That is kind of conflicting. Like,
A little bit.
if you
someone in
can't
the chat
accept
has-
it, that makes it sound like you are fully aware, but you're just like, no. But then
Yeah.
why do you allow me to remain ignorant? I don't understand.
Oh, or is it oh God, you love me and I cannot accept your love, but I have not made you aware that I will never accept your love. I'm allowing you to remain ignorant of the fact that I will never accept your love. No.
We have received word that Susan's internet has died.
We have word from the new world.
Yeah, I assume if we can't get her back in a few minutes, we just kind of ask these questions and we'll do the rest
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
over the week.
And a good
pop back.
point. Good point from Lady XOC in the chat is consider the bonds beyond romantic love.
Sure.
Yeah,
Love just in the sense of strong feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting.
So yeah, which one of you was at the Kennedy assassination?
I want it so bad. Can I have it?
Right. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, how
So
did it change our
funny.
relationship?
God, I almost like I feel like that was a meal for me. Like knowing his popularity and what he represented to people and just the literal shockwave, not just obviously of the, the mourning and the, sadness and whatever, but like the fear of what happens next was like num 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 num.
Yeah.
So like what would that, after we, meet whenever you come back,
Are you kind of hankering for another hit like that?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I'm probably like
Like-
nudging you to get popular again, so that when
Right. When this guy goes, it's gonna be the dinner bell for me.
right, this is gonna be like
Yeah.
double whammy. Like we got him back. Oh,
Oh, too bad. Yum yum yum.
yeah,
Are you
Are
sure
you-
you're not the hungry?
yeah, right. I know. You're like, so yeah, so that's I don't know. So how I don't know. How does that transform our relationship?
Oh.
Oh.
Return.
Once her camera's on, it'll shift us back to normal. Hey!
There we go.
Opa.
Can you hear us?
The Harbinger's got me.
Oh, no. I was 100% at the Kennedy assassination. We've decided.
And now
Where's my pen? Oh, how did you sneak in here?
Oh,
Aw.
hello.
Oh, nice little dog visit.
Oh, I miss my puppy. I can't wait. Yeah, I don't like how does that affect us? How do you feel about the fact that I sort of loved it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I
guess,
mean?
Yeah, I
And
would definitely be off. I'm off put. I mean, I'm a ghost now, so I am the cold logic of the other side, wrapped in the appearance of John F. Kennedy. Which actually, you know what? If I'm thinking about it real tight, I might not actually be JFK. I might just be a personification of death that was informed by that event and took the form of JFK.
Intriguing.
But I definitely think I'm JFK.
Yeah.
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 Oh, I love that.
Oh,
Yeah, that question is really interesting too because it reads like you had a relationship before, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you were at my death.
does,
How
yeah.
did that change our
relationship? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe there is some credence to the fact that I'm not actually JFK. I'm just a shade that thinks he is,
Interesting.
and something or someone that you knew before.
Yeah. I can't imagine a personification of fear having anything to do with politics, but
Especially in the 1960s.
no.
Yeah. Okay.
I dig
Comfortable
it.
with that.
I dig it.
Yeah. So I gain a bond with Underbed.
That's a good name for like the low part of a city, too.
Yeah, totally.
It makes me think of like a Hobbit gone bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Term.
My first question is I think particularly interesting. You made sure my fall was swift and terrible. Why don't I hate you for it? So that's wild. And then the more relationshipy kind of one is you long to worship me. Your heart yearns for me. Why do I keep my distance from you? And then, of course, why am I tempted to give into what the darkness demands? That was kind of, we were talking about that when you dropped out. So,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what?
Because we all have that question.
What mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
So, all of you have a close relationship with your inner darkness, and you can choose to create a bond with your internal, like, darkness motivations, right?
Hmm.
But in creating a bond with what the darkness demands of you, it's showing that you are willing to step that foot into harbingerness, that there is a possibility in your mind and in your heart of going too far and giving in to your dark desires and such. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
And so that's an
Like,
optional thing. We don't have to take that bond with ourselves.
You don't have to take that bond with yourself. For example, the shade in my podcast, what the darkness demands of them was to destroy love in all of its forms, right? Because that is the antithesis of cold, calculated logic, is feelings. So by taking a bond with what the darkness demands that he destroy love in all its forms. That was something for him to keep in mind and something for me to keep in mind, that like, oh, I'm going to present him with like people in love or friendship or emotional creatures, and like, let's see how he reacts to that, because the darkness demands he destroy it. So it's just kind of like a cool narrative thing that you can do for yourself, but also like to let me know like what to give you or what you don't really care about.
Yeah, I like that.
Cass, what was your first question again?
You made sure my fall was swift and terrible. Why don't I hate you for it?
And the second one was
you long to worship me. Your heart yearns for me. Why do I keep my distance?
I mean, I can see JFK hating you because you were present at his assassination, and he may partially blame you for it if you were involved, if you were messing with the assassins at the time. He part of his reason for coming back is trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
If he thinks you know something, he's trying to take you down. But why don't you hate him for bringing you down? I think it's probably just purely because you're keeping him around. You're trying to stick around in case you can get another hit of that, like, fear.
Sure. Like, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. You need another taste.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Like,
yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Cool.
For what's your character name again? Oh, right. Yes.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
And my first one is, you were there when I truly let go. What did I destroy that belonged to you? Why are you grateful?
Wow.
Right?
I fucking love that question.
So good.
Yeah.
And I may have to take off in a few minutes.
That's okay. We're kind of at time here. I think this is probably a good point for us to decide. We can percolate a little more on these questions, and
yeah, we got a little group chat going. We can fill in some details before next week.
Susan, do you have kind of last thoughts for us? I mean, obviously we'll talk over the week as we get ready to jump into the story, but like any last thoughts for us in chat before we kind of repeat our socials and things?
Chad, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please send any more questions my way, either on Discord or you can find me on Instagram. About the game. I love this game so much. Obviously, we made a podcast and we're doing it. Um, uh, the story we're going to start telling next Monday isn't going to be a classic story. I want to have some fun with storytelling, and I know this is an opportunity to do that. So, um, just as when Amanda ran her Unsinkables game, and it was very much a we're here to have fun, not to represent the between the most accurately. Um, I plan on doing some like jumping around in time with these players. And so anybody who's watching for like I want to see an actual play of this game, I just want you to know I'm just here to have a good time and tell a really cool story. So maybe like I'm obviously going to stick to the heart of the game and the mechanics, but it is not going to be you're not going to witness like a classic uh maybe one shot of what this game could look like. I just wanted everybody to be aware of that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Nice. All right. Well, remind us where we can find you in the interim. Susan.
I'm me, and you can find me at novelgamespodcast.com or Patreon forward head patreon.com/novel games. Um, there's also a page on Facebook and Instagram if you happen to still visit those places. Um, my podcast can be found anywhere that you listen to podcasts, or if you just want to see me, just little old me, not anything to do with podcasts, I'm on Instagram at neither right nor wrong. That's right with a W.
I am Sean O'Hara. I am the GM of Spout Lore. You can listen to my podcast, Spout Lore, and Mallbrats at spoutlore.com and mallbrats.com. And you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, including spoutlore.com or patreon.com/spoutlore or spoutlore.com/money, please. You can find me everywhere.
I'm Tass. You can find me on The Crit Show. You can also find me talking way more my voice on the Patreon as a whole bunch of really, really bad fruit and vegetable hero puns, something like 150 different fucking pirates, and a whole slew of other things in games that we've played.
Yeah, and I'm Rev. You can find everything worth knowing about me at thecritshowpodcast.com. I mean, that's probably not entirely true, but it's pretty damn close. And yeah, I run the first 6 seasons where we play Monster of the Week and other Powered by the Apocalypse games. And then I am a player in the most current season, which is using the Fate Core system, using the Clockwinder setting, where we are a group of clockwinders, a long forgotten profession of people whose job is to go around and maintain and repair movement cores, which help keep the planet tidally locked. And they are starting to break down. And if the planet starts to spin, you can imagine how bad that would be if your planet is tidally locked and then suddenly it wasn't. Everything over at patreon.com/thecritshow. Hundreds of hours by now. God, there's hundreds of hours just from Perilous Tides. Hundreds of hours of podcast. Not just actual play podcasts. We also have a podcast. I'm going to put the first episode of this out for everyone who's not on the Patreon, where we are doing my very first watch through of the Fast and the Furious movies. A podcast called Fuel for Thought, where Tass and Jesse, who are lovers of the franchise, are lovingly leading me through my first experience with Fast and the Furious. We have all kinds of GM podcasts as well. Mysteries, t-shirts, digital art you can get, etc. Odds are if you're here, I'm preaching to the choir. But with that, I suppose we'll see you all next week.
See you next
Thanks for joining us.
week.
Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.